Alright, so the next task is to go ahead and pick up whatever the mushroom was. And we can go Eastern Palace as well, we have all the stuff to do that. So, the mushroom is the magic mirror. Oh, that is very good. That is very, very good. So, we have a way out of the Dark World. That's pretty nice. No real reason to not flute here. Just flute 2.5. And this will let us get to Eastern Palace, which I'm going to do entirely because Sahasrara is over here as well. You kind of you don't always need to get his item. In fact, most of the time you don't, because most of the time it's terrible. But there is always that one run that you need his item in, and it's kind of a thing. So we may as well just get it whilst we're here. We have Hookshot actually, so we're able to skip a little bit in here. There are 2 items in this dungeon in terms of non-light dungeon stuff, because normally if you go down here there is actually a chest here which contains, I think it is 100 rupees. This time it's only 20 because you know, economic times are hard. But yeah, it's only 20 this time, but that's one of the 2 dungeon items you can get here. The other one, of course, is normally in the big chest. And, well, we'll see what that is as we go. But for now, I can go down. So you're supposed to go up and, you know, like trigger a switch and stuff, go around. But if you have the hookshot before you come in here, you can just hookshot to the chest. That chest quite often has the big key, so definitely don't forget about it. And, yeah, hookshot's pretty good for stunning these guys as well. Fun little factoid about this room, no matter which one of these 2 switches you hit, there's one on the left and the right, it opens both doors. So that's kind of cool. You can get through no problem on that side. And I don't really know how this room works as far as killing the enemies quickly and whatnot. Apparently it's not going to work at all this time. So that's great. But yeah, there's supposed to be ways of doing that faster. There's our second dungeon item. Unfortunately, that means, well, 2 things. It means nothing good from this dungeon because it was only rupees, and it also means I still have to go the long way around here because I didn't get the big key. The ideal situation there would have been get the big key out of that chest and then get the dungeon item out of the big chest. The big chest now has to contain the compass because that's the only thing that's left. So that information is still good to have. Just a shame that it comes at the cost of a little bit of fluidity here, because we do have to do all of this silly section too. At the very least, we have Pegasus boots to speed it up though, because, you know, dashing across the whole room feels pretty good. So with this, you're supposed to kill the enemies. I'm gonna have to kill them anyway because I'm bad. You're supposed to kill the enemies in order to get access to the center chest here, the center switch even. You can just go ahead and, if I could actually hit the stupid thing, you can just go ahead and damage boost it. But I'm not very good at that, as you could clearly see by the fact that I messed that up like 6 times. Not 6, but, you know, I messed it up because I'm bad at trying to do speedrun tech. I don't really know. So, it's okay though. I mean, I don't need a ton of hearts to this place. I have 2 blue potions and a fairy if I really needed more defensive stuff. That's fine. This guy always has the key that you need. And then just make sure you don't get wrecked by the other guy on the way past. You need the bow before you can finish Eastern Palace, because the bow is the only thing that can defeat the red Igors, and we'll be seeing those in the last 2 rooms of this place, just coming up after the RNG ball maze thing there. So you need bow before you can finish this. I keep missing with the delay on the bow. I don't know. So there's that. And then we have the spin attack to get rid of those. And then I always end up firing my first arrow too early here, and I just missed a quick 1 cycle hit. But it's fine. Grab myself a couple of extra arrows, because I don't really trust myself on the Armor Knights without them. I miss quite a lot of shots normally, so whatever. Again, not a speedrunner, don't really know the quick setup for this, but I can kind of still shoot a lot of arrows at them and kill them anyway. So long as you don't have an arrow on screen active still, you can do quite well with spamming the button. You just have to remember the delay involved, and yeah, go from there. So even if you aren't going to actually do Eastern Palace, you definitely want to go to Sahasrahla's hut, because he has 3 items in his back pocket, because he's a mini jerkface like that. Also, if you're using if you have the Pegasus boots, you can tap A at the side of a cliff and you can instant drop off. It's pretty useful. But yeah, with the pendant we can get his item as well. But even if you aren't going to get the pendant, then you still want to come in here because of that wall at the back. So his text is so freaking long. This is all skipped to version 7 magical boomerang. Okay, that's an interesting, if very slightly useless item. And then in here, Book of Medora. That's exactly what I needed to keep going with this actually, because I was just sort of thinking about that I don't have the book yet, because I need the book in order to go to Desert Palace. Oh, why am I trying to use the mirror? For some reason I thought I had the flute out. Okay, so where do we want to go? I guess we just go desert then. I'm kind of committed to this whole doing the Blightwell dungeons now, even though normally I don't. I'm kind of thinking, like, the cape has not shown up yet. There's 6 more items that I think we can get, and I need to kill Aghanim, so at this stage I think it's best just to do the dungeon, even though it is a little bit annoying to do. But you never know, we might get the cape in here and go from there. Of course we don't, but you never know. It is possible. Yeah, so there's a couple of items we can get in Desert Palace, because there's the heart piece that's on the ledge, that we would normally get, and there is the one dungeon item, which is normally the Power Glove. Doesn't necessarily have to be, of course, as you know we already have the Power Glove, so we don't need that part. But yeah, it could still be something useful here. I don't know, this is kind of interesting, because normally by now I would have all the stuff I need for the Dark World. This is going to be a bit of a slow seed because of that, but it's fine. You know, you don't always get ones that are ultra high octane type stuff. And honestly, it's nice doing all the dungeons for once. We're going to have to do this a lot more in version 7, because the one other thing that gets randomized, or one of the other things that gets randomized, is the boss hearts. Okay, big key's kind of nice to have already. Yeah, the boss hearts will no longer necessarily be tied to the boss. They can very easily be a random item, so that's kind of cool. And then actually what number crystal and what pendant that you get will also be randomized. So say this dungeon could give the green pendant that you need for Sahasrahla, which in the test seed that they did races of actually was the case, and Sahasrahla could have the bow as a result, which is normally impossible, because without the bow you can't complete the game. And where's our dungeon item? Wah, wah. Yeah, without the bow you can't complete the game, and to get the bow from Sahasrahla you would have to be able to beat Eastern Palace, which you cannot do without the bow. However, if you randomized which boss gives you which medallion, then Moldorm, or is it La Mola here? I forget exactly what this guy is called, what these guys are called. I think it's La Mola. Basically, they could have it instead, and if they do, then you would need to defeat one of those to get the thing for Sahashala. Wow, it's still a heart piece. That's kind of underwhelming, but okay. Yeah, I'm pretty committed to the fact that I have to do this here. It could very well turn out that I don't, but the fact that I have the lamp as well sort of means that it's not the end of the world to do. Like I said, it's a little bit slow. I usually don't do this dungeon, so it's actually the first time I've had to do this in quite a long time. Just trying to be a bit quicker, and it didn't pay off. What? Why couldn't I use my sword there? Please. It's fine. There we go. There's actually a despawn, like, thing with that key if you spawn the magic decanter first, then it's possible for that key to actually disappear, and that's kind of really sucky. Wow, I actually didn't get hit there. I'm sort of surprised. I'm not exactly the best at doing the fight to come up though. This fight can take a long time without extra weapons. The fire rod is definitely one of the best things you can have here. The ice rod is actually pretty good too, but yeah, because I'm really bad at timing with the bow and everything. So that kind of sucks for me. Because these guys take about 5 or 6 hits, I think it is, by themselves. Wow, that looks cool. Yeah, it's really easy when you have like level 3 or 4 sword later on, but it's very, very, very slow normally if you aren't a speedrunner and don't have the quick cycle stuff down. But it's fine. We will eventually get them killed. I thought he was going to come up a little bit faster. I have a fairy, so even if I was to take a lot of damage here, not really too worried. It is interesting that they're still doing half a heart of damage though. It is definitely noteworthy. Nice. Okay. Well, that took longer than it should have, but it's fine. So I guess at this point we can get Master Sword. Not really what I would normally be doing, but you know what? It's fine. You sometimes have to get that. That's cool. We're still not like too far off of pace here. What am I doing? We're still not too far out of line with normal pace. Most of the time I'm clearing a Dark World dungeon. Where am I want to go? Is it just here? Yeah, I guess we'll just get this first. Yeah, normally I'm clearing my first Dark World dungeon, like Thieves Town or something. Why am I going this way? Can't go that way yet. Yeah, I'm normally clearing it within about 50 minutes or so. 45 to 50 minutes, and then it just goes from there. So we're not too far behind that. And even then, you know, this is an unusual situation as far as stuff goes. Oh, that's the fake one. I got tricked, except not really. Yeah, you don't normally go through this place, so it's very easy to forget where you strictly need to go for this, or I don't know. Or I'm just bad, one of the two. Most likely the latter. But hey, Master Sword pulled. That's one of the first times in stuff here ever. I don't know. It's actually one of the first times that I've not gone to the Dark World by this time. I didn't even know that text was skipped. That's how like infrequent this is. I still have the flute on me. I do have access to the shovel item. I'm trying to work out when I want to get that. I think I want to get that a little bit later on. I'm gonna go back into what am I thinking of? I'm trying to go into downstairs, the graveyard bit, so I can go and get the couple of items, well, 3 items as it is, down in the sewers. If one of those is Magic Cape, oh man, there's gonna be shenanigans to be had with that. It is definitely possible. one of these could very easily be the cape, and then I wouldn't have had to get Master Sword. But you know what? Going through Hyrule Castle without Master Sword is kind of annoying anyway, so not too bad. So there's arrows, there's rupees, and there's more rupees. Okay, so that was kind of a waste of time, but what can you do? Save and quit out of there is the fastest option, because otherwise you have to go through the rest of the bit again, and especially if I want to go to Haunted Grove real quick so I can check what the item is there. Yeah, it's just the quickest way around for it. So there is another item that I could get, but it requires a glitch to do so. Actually, there's two items I get. I can go get Zora. Ah, it was too close. I triggered the cutscene. It's not that bad, but it's still time wasting. Yeah, I could go to King Zora and get the item there. Nice heart piece. Actually, that is kind of a nice heart piece. Gives me more stuff. Yeah, I could go to King Zora, get one item there. There's two items up there, but I only have access to the one because I don't have flippers. Or I could... what was the other item I could get? That's great, isn't it, when you forget the thing? I would remember it if I saw it, but... oh yeah, I could use Fate Flippers and get to the Bridge Hobo that normally gives you a bottle. But Fate Flippers is a glitch that I don't really need to use. So I'd rather not. Especially considering it normally takes me like 50 goes to get it, so... I'd really rather not use that. Alright, so... Not gonna get to show off the cape trick this time, that's fine. And yeah, it's just a case of let's do Hyrule Castle because I need the Moon Pearl. Yeah, not much more to say about it, just I need Moon Pearl, therefore we have to do this. So it's kind of funny that really this was set out for doing this as an any percent, on pretty much an any percent type of thing. Or no major glitches, I guess you would call it. But in the end, we've had to do all the dungeons anyway. So, it's kind of cute. Yeah, not normally the way that you would expect to be running this shenanigan, but what are you gonna do? So, once again, I don't often come through this dungeon either, because most of the time you can just kind of get to the Dark World and you get the Moon Pearl and it's all great. Obviously, this time it's an entirely different story, so we do have to do all of the weirds on the navigation through this this place. Yeah, it's the next time that we have to get a key or something from that on the next floor. There's only so many enemies you actually have to kill here and whatnot, so that saves a lot of time if you're not focusing too much on killing things. Which, admittedly, in a game like this, is a little bit of an unusual thing to say. But yeah, we don't have to kill all the dudes. We just have to kill enough of them that get stuff here. Similarly, you don't actually have to kill the bats in the middle of this room. You only have to kill the knights in order to unlock the door here. Unfortunately, I don't have anything worth using that magic on, so that's a bit of a shame. But it's fine. So kill those. I could have gotten that heart, but I don't really need it. I'm gonna have to kill this guy anyway, because he's gonna get in the way. It's really only the one in the middle is the one you have to kill. Because he's the one who gives you the key drop. Thankfully, we have blue mail at the moment, so I am taking less damage from these things, because yeah, I'm getting hit way more than I should be here. But it's okay. You don't have to kill anything in this room, you can just kind of waltz on past, and they don't even spot you because they're dumb. This guy's gonna get in the way, so just knock him out. And if you're lined up better, you can dash up there, but of course I was not lined up well, because who said I was good at video games? Alright, Aghanim, what you got? So another thing that was changed about Aghanim, normally he has what we refer to as blue ball attacks, where basically he just like spams a thing that you can't reflect back at him and sends fireballs out when it reaches you and is really annoying and super slow. In the randomizer they got rid of that entirely. which is super nice. So you can just kind of go ahead and hit him. Also, bug net works, so just in case anybody's not aware of this super awesome little trick, you can use the bug net and reflect the stuff back at him as well. It's kind of cute. He still does the thunder, by the way, every 4 attacks, so you do need to avoid that, but avoiding that is literally as easy as coming up here and just staying out of the way. It is not a difficult attack to get around. This is not a hard boss, but, you know. If you don't have the bug net, just do spin attacks against it. It makes it more convenient. And, yep. Obvious easy boss is obvious and easy. So now that we've done that, the lumberjack tree is available, so we will be able to get the stuff that way. And I guess because we're a bunny, we don't actually get full healed here. There is one item to get just before leaving this place though, which is up here. Unfortunately, nothing too useful, but if I didn't check it, it would have been. Can I do the mirror from here? I can. Okay, that's kind of good. So now we're just going to go ahead and ride the birdie. I think Kakariko was quicker actually, but oh well, whatever. Doesn't matter, we can get the stuff from here. So, yeah, basically we need to go to the Lumberjack Cave, get the Moon Pearl, and then we can start doing Dark World proper. Which, yeah, kind of a bit on the slower side, but on the plus side we have Master Sword that we don't normally have, so a little bit... It's going to be a little bit more expedient through the dungeons. Oh, there's also an item up here which I didn't get before, so whilst we're in the area, let's go ahead and grab this. Watch this be cape. Watch this be cape, just to sort of prove me wrong here. Nope, it is money, okay. I don't really have a huge use for money at this point, except maybe for buying potions if I want to as we go. Which is possible, I mean potions are nice, but also there seems to be more birds there than there used to be. I know there's some changes with the light world, dark world stuff, but yeah, I distinctly feel like there's more birds than there used to be there. That's fine. There's also fairies at the top of here if you do want them. There's fairies in so many different places though, so we don't really need to care about that. Anyway, Moon Pearl means that we have access to a whole bunch of other stuff now, which is really good.